From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
It's a good night tonight, finally, for some 4,000 people who were trapped aboard a crippled Carnival cruise liner for the past 5 days. They're back on land, and some of them even kissed the ground as they disembarked, ending what turned out to be a vacation they'd rather forget. NBC's Janet Shamlian joins us once again from Mobile, Alabama tonight. Janet?
Lester, good evening. Almost 24 hours after the cruise ship docked here, most of those passengers are finally home tonight. And along the way, they shared stories of a week they will never forget.
The crippled cruise ship was towed away from the terminal this morning, where hours earlier, passengers couldn't get off quickly enough.
Definitely first and last cruise, yeah. Never again, never with Carnival, never again.
Anger mixed with relief. Many happy simply to be back on dry land.
I'm so excited just to be back home and to know that, I can go take a shower in a little bit. I can go to the restroom in a little bit, not have to worry if there's water or not.
2,000 boarded buses for what sounded like heaven. Clean hotel rooms in New Orleans. But it seemed like a cruel joke for one group. Halfway through the trip, their bus broke down. Clark Jones tweeted a photo.
I don't know. Life gives you lemons. I guess you have to eat the lemons sometimes.
With cell phones recharged, passengers are now posting their video diaries. A play-by-play of conditions going from bad to worse.
With the vessel now at a shipyard, the NTSB and Coast Guard will start their investigation into a fire that sparked the power outage. This is also where Triumph will be repaired. It will be out of service for months.
And there may be other problems from the raw sewage on board. Illness is still a strong possibility. NBC's Dr. Nancy Snyderman.
When people get home, they're going to feel safe and somewhat complacent, but any nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea over the next 2 to 3 days may be linked back to the exposure to the sewage on this ship, and that's a real worry for children and the elderly.
As passengers started leaving New Orleans and arriving back in Galveston where they boarded, many felt compelled to thank the crew, who suffered alongside them, but continued to serve.
It could have gone so wrong. Had the crew not stepped it up, and those guys worked nonstop.
The crew was amazing, the staff amazing. Management did not do a good job.
The end of a vacation gone wrong after their ship finally came in.
Investigators are here in Mobile as the investigation begins. There's also a massive cleanup job and repair job ahead. And as of tonight, Carnival has canceled all future cruises on the Triumph. Lester, back to you.
Janet Shamlian, thanks. This vacation gone bad is raising lots of questions about what rights you have and what rights you might be giving up when you set sail on a cruise. Already one passenger has sued Carnival for failing to provide a seaworthy vessel. If you're one of the hundreds of thousands who vacation on a cruise, what can you expect if things go wrong? NBC's Gabe Gutierrez reports.
The nightmare is finally over for Triumph passenger Cheryl Espy.
It got to be pretty bad.
Carnival will compensate her and her fellow travelers $500, a refund, transportation expenses, and a free ticket. But this latest incident has raised questions about oversight of cruise lines and their passengers' rights. If you travel by plane, you're protected under what's called the Passenger Bill of Rights, which, among other things, includes stiff fines for airlines that leave you sitting on the runway for hours. It also mandates compensation if you're bumped off your flight. But cruise lines are different, partly because passengers give up certain rights in their ticket contracts. For example, Carnival is not liable for damages for emotional distress or psychological injury, except when caused by the negligence of Carnival and resulted from physical injury. Also, many cruise ships are registered in foreign countries and not subject to U.S. taxes and many regulations. The Triumph is incorporated in the Bahamas.
This industry is unregulated because they have successfully hidden behind their foreign flags.
In 2010, Congress did pass the Cruise Vessel Security and Safety Act, mandating better crime reporting at sea. But critics say it's not enough.
There's no reason when a ship is mechanically deficient operating out of the United States that the United States cannot take action against the cruise lines.
The industry says it has improved, implementing new safety policies following a string of disasters last year, like the Costa Concordia and the Costa Allegra.
This is already a very heavily regulated industry. It's regulated at both international levels and national levels, and the enforcement occurs in multiple layers.
Dar says on any given day, there are some 280 cruise ships on the open seas. carrying about 300,000 passengers. For those considering any kind of travel, the most important information may be in the fine print. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Atlanta.